Hey, what's going on YouTube? Slick Nick here. I know it's been a while since I did a video. It's been so overwhelming the last several months, but I'll explain later what was going on in another video. But the most recent thing that happened, it started late April and then into the beginning of May. Uber and Lyft threw me under the bus. Yeah, those bastards deactivated my account for unsafe driving. But of course, this was all fraudulent safety flags. And Uber, I hardly ever get any rides as much compared to Lyft because Lyft, I usually get better offers and I would get EV incentives with my Tesla. It happened during the second weekend of Coachella. I got a warning that I had too many safety flags. Sometimes passengers just submit fraudulent safety flags for no reason over little things like they can't see what's going on and we're trying to avoid a hazard, doing nothing dangerous, or they're just trying to get us for whatever reason. They don't even think about the safety. When they choose safety, it's even more serious than it thinks because these companies don't have proper safeguards. And then I received a warning that my account is at risk of deactivation if I get one more safety flag. And sure enough, I even told Lyft and I talked to their safety department. They said everything was going fine. They said that my account was in good standing. Okay. And then that weekend, I ended up getting another safety flag. And then one of the safety flags I had before cleared off, I guess because there was enough ratings to bump it. And then sure enough, that later the next night, my account was permanently deactivated, but it was done by the algorithm. And I did the in-app appeal, which only has a 5% chance. And then I started doing Uber. And then later that week, Uber said that passenger left feedback that there was a safety issue, that my account was at risk of deactivation. And I don't know which ride it was. I have one hunch, but I didn't do anything wrong. And also they showed me reports I got all the way back to 2023. I didn't have more than 500 trips to bump those. So that's probably why they never got cleared, which is so stupid. It should be cleared either after an X amount of trips or 6 months, whichever comes first. And then same thing with Uber, protest it. And I don't know which ride it was exactly because they didn't give me a timestamp. They only gave me the dates, but no timestamp. Otherwise I could submit footage. And then on that Monday, I all of a sudden got a ride, and then eventually my rating, well, before this, my rating, when I got the safety flag, my rating did not even change. It stayed the same, nothing changed. So the passengers probably 5-starred me, and then they probably went in there later and then made a fraudulent report or whatever. And Uber was not transparent on what happened. Same with Lyft with the safety flags. No detail, no transparency, nothing. And they even claim they don't know which riders it came from. So what's the point of having safety flags as an option if you're not going to divulge the information to the driver and allow the driver to submit footage or whatever? And so on Uber, I took a trip one time. I think I know which trip it might have been. And then because I was going from LAX to Rancho Palos Verdes, and on the Palos Verdes Peninsula, there's some really big curves. And sometimes depending on the sunlight, the rows sometimes get the markings, sometimes will confuse a Tesla and they'll think you're getting too close, but you're really not. And then also when you're coming upon a stop sign that's far away or in a blind spot, or you don't get any warning there's a stop sign ahead, you end up slowing down really fast. So I have a hunch which ride it could have been that did the final straw. And then all of a sudden, later that night, after midnight, Uber said they have deactivated my account due to unsafe driving. Bunch of bullshit. Especially when passengers misuse or abuse the rating system, or especially choosing safety instead of giving us details. What these companies need to do when it comes to safety flags, they should require the passengers to put detailed information, not just simply choosing an option, put details and warn them they're going to share it with the driver and give us a timestamp so we can try to find dashcam footage to see who was really in the right or wrong. And if they don't, then the safety flag should be void and give the passenger a 24-hour statute of limitation to submit something, details. Otherwise, what's the point? Because a lot of times they might just come back later and do it just to get freebies, refunds, whatever. Bunch of BS. So here's what I did. So if you haven't checked out the Rideshare Professor YouTube channel. I highly recommend him, Torsten. He's a friend of mine. I'm giving him a shout out. He's got a company called activationhero.com. I'll put the link in the description box below. He has videos that explain how the process works. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what he's been through this process before. Basically what you do is you go on the website, you choose which platform you were deactivated from. He does videos all the time explaining how the process works. So just to brief it down, I chose like Lyft, for example. And then when Uber deactivated me, threw me under the bus, I did the same for Uber. I had to do one per company. What you do is you put in your declaration, your statement as to what happened, and the amount lost earnings estimated going back 2 weeks plus up to the day you were deactivated to calculate the average. And then he works with a group of paralegals. And what the paralegals will do is they'll draft your statement, they'll put everything into a legal appeal, a legal letter, and then they'll email it to you, you sign it, and then what they'll do is they will send it off first class. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they do certified or registered or something to make sure it gets there. But if I can get a verification, Torsten, that'd be great, because I don't want to mislead anybody. So anyways, after you sign the form, you'll get a copy of the legal demand letter, and it goes off to the company's legal department. Lyft got one, and then also Uber got one. So it goes to their legal department. It usually takes about 3 to 5 days to get to their legal department in San Francisco. And then they have 21 days, I think business days. So from the day it gets mailed out, give it like 3 days at minimum, and then give about 21 days, I think business days. Correct me if I'm wrong, and then if the companies don't comply or they don't take any action or say anything, and then we go to the next step, which will be to file small claims. And their deadline's already coming up now. So early June, if they don't reactivate my accounts, I will do a separate video following up if anything has changed, or going to the next step would be to file in small claims. For those of you that have tried it, if you hadn't had any luck, then you're probably forgetting to do something. But I'm telling you right now how I'm doing it, and I will do other videos following along the process until this whole thing gets resolved. So what I did was I went on activationhero.com. I chose the platform I got deactivated on. You have to do one per company. So one for Lyft I did, and then I did one for Uber, filling out the form. And then the paralegals will Torsten's team will follow up with you, and that's what they did with me. I signed the letter, and then it's basically a legal demand, because there's an in-app appeal. If you want to try the in-app, it never hurts, but it only has 5% chance, so only very few drivers have had any luck with it. So I went that route. At first, I figured it wasn't going to work, but it never hurts to try. And then that's when I go to the next step, filing the legal appeal. That's where the demand gets drafted by the paralegals from Activation Hero. After you sign it, then they send it off to the company's legal department. And it also warns them, if they don't comply, we're going to file a claim for lost earnings in small claims. And if the legal department still says, oh, your account's going to stay deactivated, then it's going to be up to the court to decide that. So I will do other follow-up videos as the process goes along, or if we end up having to go that direction. But I'm going to make sure I get them hard. I know it's really frustrating, but right now I'm just doing deliveries, like with Instacart. That's pretty much all I have right now. If you have any other delivery apps or any other apps, anything you can do, that's always good to have something on hand, especially since I have a Tesla now. But it gives me bigger orders with Instacart. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the rideshare situation. And I'll do a separate video. Oh, and also very important, if you're in those Facebook groups or anywhere on Instagram, and you see all these messages, these users saying, oh, we'll reactivate your account, just give us a call and we'll permanently get you reactivated. Those are scams. Don't even do it. Don't send money. If they say WhatsApp, they're obviously from out of the country, like overseas. And if you check out the Rideshare Professor's channel, he's got some videos toying with these scammers. It's so funny. I recommend checking them out. But just don't send any money And if you see those posts on any social media advertising, oh, we'll reactivate your account, just send through WhatsApp, it's a scam. Always report the scam, because together we can all battle these scammers by keep reporting, do whatever it takes. I'm going to wrap it up right here. So as the process continues with the deactivation case, I'll keep doing follow-ups if I have to go to the next step and what the outcome is. And link is in the description box for activationhero.com. Thank you.